Janine Butcher's been in prison, Corrie Tracy's been there, even Barlow, Deirdre's, served a little bit of time in the old chokey. In fact, it's even possible to name iconic soap stars without spending time in prison, right?
After last night's Enmerdale, Dan Spencer might not need to worry about that because with Lloyd's life hanging in the balance, Dan could soon find himself behind bars for a very long time.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to like and share.
Wow. Keep them coming, well worth the 30 quid. Look, Dad, I know you don't get it, but you're just going to have to start trusting me.
I do trust you. It's other people to worry about.
You're even prettier in person. I follow your profile. I'm a top subscriber. I'm your #1 fan.
He knows where you live now.
No, he must have followed us from Salon.
Came round to see you. Put a letter through the door.
Make sure you contact us if he contacts you again.
So that's it, is it? What do I have to say to make you understand, eh?
And you need to step back. Me and her are going to be seeing a little bit more of each other, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I did it, it was me.
I'm going to need you to come down the station with us.
Ooh.
Unbelievable.
We're joined by Liam Fox, who plays Dan now. Good to have you with us, buddy.
Pleasure.
Huge storyline, this, isn't it?
It's massive. Yeah, they told me about it in January, and I was just basically knocked out by it. Amazing. They promised me an amazing storyline, and it's better than I could have dreamed of. It's just been incredible, and such an important story as well.
Right, because you've got elements of stalking in there, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I never forget, I watched a documentary about the one-punch kills, a couple of years ago. Yeah. And just how they shatter every single person's life around, you know? So, I mean, that's... Obviously, we want to get on to the lighter stuff, but it's a hugely important storyline that soaps do so well in addressing, don't they?
Yeah, of course it is. It's sadness all around, isn't it? Because, I mean, research-wise, I kind of didn't want to go and find people who'd been through it. That felt like it was, I don't know, it was wrong.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of videos, really, YouTube and stuff, of families, and it was just generally that sadness on all sides.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't mean to do it. You can just lash out for that second, and your life and everybody's lives are changed forever. It's just...
So, a little spoiler. I don't know if we were allowed to give this spoiler, but he does get arrested, doesn't he, for GBH?
Yeah.
How have you found doing this role? Because normally you're quite a nice character. Nothing like this normally happens to Dan.
I think that's why they gave me it. Because he was the one character you'd never expect to do it. A Kane might do it, or anybody else, but Dan would never do it. So I think that was the whole point. Give it to the nice guy, the daft guy, and it's so unlikely.
It's funny because that was part of the documentary I watched. Like I said, I think it was on BBC Three or something a couple of years ago. It was all people who this has happened to, who would never normally punch someone, and they were either provoked or they stepped in to help a friend. And it wasn't like a frenzied attack or anything. It happened once, and then that was it, which is why I think it's so important.
I think with the actual punch they gave, the director said, I don't want to swing, I don't want nothing, I want just an instinctive, quick punch, and he's gone, because it's just what, in the moment.
It's unbelievable. And we've got to talk about that, obviously, the one punch can kill. Police forces across the country are doing campaigns, and it's lovely that you're actually shining this light on that campaign.
I suppose it's like, if this storyline stops one person from reacting, it's one life saved. I think it'll do a lot more than that. I think it truly will make a difference. You know, somebody's in a pub, someone else says the wrong word in their ear, and they might think and go, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to leave it. And that makes a difference.
It's the manly thing to do. It's the right thing to do, to walk away, isn't it, sometimes? I know it feels horrible, but really and truly, for someone else, for you to punch someone, that means that other person is controlling you, really. So to walk away is actually harder to do, isn't it?
My dad used to say to me as a kid, don't get involved in fights, because if you win, you'll lose.
Yeah.
And that's sort of stuck in my head.
Wow, really. That's a good one.
We've got a little preview of tonight's ep, I think, haven't we?
Let's take a look.
Thanks for everything you did the other day. You shouldn't have had to be involved.
Yeah, of course. No worries, Listen, I better...
He could barely look at me.
That's just Jacob.
Keep thinking I should call the hospital.
No, Dad. Stay away from the phone. Look, that voicemail you sent was bad enough. We don't need to make anything worse. Look, Dad, I think the best thing for you is to try and get yourself back into work. Try not drive yourself mad dwelling on stuff.
People are never going to look at me the same way again.
Oh.
Do you know you played that so well because you had that pit in your stomach, what have I done feeling that I watched there as soon as I saw it.
And it's the guilt, isn't it? He feels so guilty afterwards.
All through it, yeah. It's been really emotional doing the whole
Has
story.
it?
Even my wife at home, she couldn't watch it today. She can't watch it. I'm in tears. I can't stand seeing Dan's face. I said, it's Dan's face. It's not really me. You know. It's like...
Talking of your wife, you actually met your wife on Enmerdale, didn't you?
Well, no. Well, she worked with us again, but we met originally at Salford Uni in '93.
Oh.
I thought I was dating her. I wasn't. She told me we're actually mates. So,
We're just friends.
I put that right 25
What
years
about
ago.
now? Are you married or you?
We're married now. Oh, yeah, 3 years
Did she
married.
turn around and say, we're not married?
Well, can you imagine that? Yeah. I'll probably get a text when I get off.
I can't believe that he was only supposed to do 6 episodes on Enmerdale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now look at you 12 years in.
It's mad, isn't it, really? And that's all down to the cast. They were there, the original family, the Spencers, Kelly Hollis, Alicia Rio. Just the first day on set, they were so brittle. We just loved each other straight away, and it was just like dead easy.
So when did you find out? Like after your 6 episodes, did they say? Look,
I did the 6. I went off and did a casualty and this other BBC thing, and then came back and they said, "Oh, you're a regular." About 3 months later.
That's so lovely.
Like, yeah.
But it's every actor's dream, isn't it? That's what actors dream of, isn't it, when you go in?
Yeah, a bit of stability and a nice character. It was just when I saw the character on the page, I thought I could have some fun with him.
How many, you were in Enmerdale, like, back in the day when you were a kid, weren't you? For how?
Oh, yeah. I did different cop roles and stuff, yeah.
You was a police officer?
How many times?
A few times. Oh, 4, 5, I think. Different coppers.
Yeah, always a
different
policeman.
names, yeah.
We dug out one.
Of course we did.
No way. So, would you happen to notice Mr. Mullen's car leaving the village?
No.
And you didn't see him come back?
No. Contrary to popular opinion, I don't spend my life casing their property.
Did you go out at all that day, sir?
Yeah. I went to the pub with Alan.
Right. Well, thank you, both of you. You've been very helpful.
Oh, you look so young.
Where did it all go wrong?
He's so guilty, that guy. You can tell, couldn't you?
So
21
good.
years ago.
Yeah, crazy.
Unbelievable.
So we did the coronation. We did the coronation show up in Coronation Street. It was amazing. It was such a lovely thing. What's the Emmerdale? I've been to the Emmerdale set once, but I don't know if is it ever moved to the Emmerdale set. It used to
20-odd years ago was when they built the purpose-built set on the Harewood estate.
Because it used to be.
It was in Escholtz, yeah. It was a proper village at one time, yeah.
Oh,
and that's when they built it. So yeah, we're doing our tours now. I think the weekend tours. But yeah.
What a lovely place to work.
It's ridiculous.
It's beautiful. I've been there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. Well, listen, Emmerdale continues tonight, 7:30 on ITV1 and ITVX. We're very excited to see what happens to him.
Ooh.
I hope he doesn't go to prison, but obviously he's done something quite bad, so we don't know.
Nice to see you.
It's time.